How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another quant update. And wow, the bounce actually managed to push through 96 and 101. And what did I say would happen if we saw the reclaim? Now, the bounce from here should actually be a lower high around the moving averages, and we're not actually seeing the rest of the market getting this bounce. So that's very suspect. I warned of this yesterday at the end of the video. So we want the whole market to bounce. And I urge you all, if you do have some spare time, to check out my Bitcoin and ETH updates. They are at very key macro moving averages, and it must be the bottom. Otherwise, they're going to lose those macro moving averages. And what would that mean? You see? So they must bounce, and they've got the rest of the month to do so, which is unfortunately only 2 days. So from here on out, the market as a whole has to bounce. So the hope would be that Quant has front run everything and is opening the path, showing that the rest should be able to follow now. Obviously, it's all dependent on Bitcoin, not Quant, but yeah, at least Bitcoin still maintaining that moving average, and it's got 2 days left of the monthly candle. It needs to move up from there, protect it. And while it is still hovering above support, that means it is the bottom. Of course, in 2 days, can we lose it? Yes, but currently that is it. It is. So at least in the short term, a local bottom on Bitcoin. So it needs to recover a very key area. It's 94,000. Look at all the build up on moving averages here. So holding that 200 needs to recover the 100. Quant is a little bit different. So it's already above the moving averages. That's great. But as I've been warning, 112 is the next area that we should expect a rejection to come from. This is what I've been saying for weeks on end, actually, since down over here. I was calling for a move up, saying this area is where it could possibly get rejected. It's Fibonacci's that are telling me this. Also, just previously, support should just act as resistance. And then this is actually the last high that needs to be broken, and then that would be next, this area over here, this build up. But it's very important to at least clear the high over here. Otherwise, this is still considered lower than that, a lower high. Very basic TA, but just using support and resistance that's given to me, which is the fibs. So I don't have to just draw those lines. I mean, I can draw specific support and resistances like this and like this through the bodies like that. But the Fibonacci's are giving me those key exact levels and areas. So it was just telling me all the while, as we were coming down, price is meant to maintain 96. And so you saw bounces that just did not sustain. Those bounces needed to not only recover this level, but also 156. That needs to turn into support. So I wasn't making updates, but on all my other altcoins and in the Discord community, which I'm in there on a daily basis, updating everything for years. And on it, yeah, that is what I was saying on those alts. With the move down, it gives us the 786 and 886. Failure to reclaim, we're going lower. And in the end, all the bounces failed. And this key level of support where all the moving averages were 100, 200. So taking an average of the last 100 and 200 days, that's very bad if we see it being lost. So when you see it actually being lost, then a move up into it should just be flipping that previous support area, meaning to give you bounces, now into resistance. And yes, we can look at this line over here as that's the support that needs reclaiming. We rejected it, bounced from a bounce location. But of course, understanding even if this line is recovered, there's still the top end. And this actually, just where the last high is, this is the top end over here. So it needs to clear all of this. Quant needs to get through all of that, and it's still not secure. It's a lot better positioned at that point. You know, you've recovered the moving averages. You really start invalidating many of the bearish signals, but not all. One by one, yes, but not all. They are all out the window. All the bearish signs are out the way when that's reclaimed. Until then, we could actually recover all these levels. That would be way more bullish than now. It would give us much higher probability chances of breaking the red box. But still, if the red box wants to be resistance, if the sell orders are there and they're bigger than the buys, then we're dumping from there, simple as. And then you would say, as it starts moving down, what does that look like? So there's a lot of risk at the moment, but If it manages to push through, you're going to say with hindsight, that was your bottom, that was the best time to buy, but we're not yet at that moment. Of course, looking back, and if we are up there, you're going to say, oh, that Louis guy, he was scaring me down over here. But I am not personally seeing any structural changes apart from down over here. On a local basis, we've got a double bottom, and now breaking out of the neckline. But if you even saw in the title of my video yesterday, I was saying, you know, if you saw the titles of all my videos and the thumbnails, I was saying must bounce, everything needs to bounce, it needs to be the bottom. Otherwise, we're losing macro supports. Going back to Bitcoin briefly, the 200 EMAs here, but also on higher time frames. I urge you to watch my Bitcoin and Ethereum updates. So we go through the daily, weekly, monthly, 15-day. So very important levels to watch. Literally over this weekend, it's very important to see this recovery over here. For this weekend, it needs to flip this 94 level, this pink thing here, into support, not resistance. Pumping into it for the weekend is terrible. We need to see this week reclaiming, and that's highly unlikely if you just lost support. You know, calling for that V-shaped recovery, it's not technically meant to do that. Can it do that? Yes, but look how much it needs to tackle all the moving averages. This is a macro support, but it's not like Quant didn't actually lose that in the end after multiple failed bounces. So it's very similar. There's multiple failed bounces over here. Over the past 3 weeks, we had the bullish pattern. It was meant to break out bullish. You've been watching my video updates. You'd know all of the coins had bullish patterns, should have broken out bullish, and they just traveled lower. So the warnings, I was also saying them constantly. We've got the bearish cross, you know, lose this key level. We're starting a dump where we sweep the lows. If you lose the 100 EMA, that means you go to the 200 EMA. All these things that I've been saying have developed and come true. And there's always still people with spite, which I don't care. It's always going to happen, but they don't even want to give it a chance and listen for a moment. I'm not trying to claim that I'm the best out here, that I'm some god, I'm some TA god or whatever. But this is all just basic TA. I'm not joking, guys. It's all basic. It's just support and resistance. It might seem more advanced, but it's just support and resistance using different tools. Instead of me drawing specific lines only, they're being drawn for me using the moving averages, using the Fibonacci levels. And so I'd know that, and just higher highs, higher lows. Right now, we're still currently under there. That's the last high, so it makes sense that we were going to see a rejection. The next step is, as I said in the last update, 96 to 101 must now be support. It's where this was previously resistance, sent us lower. So if this is the recovery, the bottom, 96 to 100, cannot lose this. This has to be it now. From here, so we're already rejecting, already coming back down. From here, it needs to break through this level and this level. What's it going to do though? Even if we push through here, we're going to run into there and reject. Come back down. Can go low again. Can find support here. Here, I will be here every single day to update it. Maybe not every day on the weekends, but a weekday at least. Try my best. I've got my own business running the Discord. I'm in there 24/7. And so over here, you need to eventually turn that into support and run into this area. So guys, that is it from me today. Ultimately, even if we get up there, it needs to tackle that area as well. Right now, we're running into resistance 112 exactly as predicted and rejecting it. Still considered a lower high. 96 to 100 must maintain, and then a break of 112. And that's a very good step in the right direction, which also starts invalidating some bearish scenarios one by one, but not all. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you want to get educated, check out the links in the description of this video. Cheers.